Accused delivers perhaps what is its weakest episode of this season, as it explores a young man with dreams of grandeur who finds himself getting frustrated to the point of deadly actions. When we're introduced to Samir, we kind of get a bit of a sob story in terms of him being a Syrian refugee alongside his mom after his father was killed in the bombing, and throughout all of her hard work, all that Samir's mother Rita wants is for him to follow in his father's footsteps, take the MCAT, become a doctor, and be successful. Unfortunately for Samir, he has test anxiety, so that hasn't really been something that he's been able to accomplish. And to add on to that, he's someone who, because he dedicates so much time to the MCAT and trying to make his mom proud, he seemingly hasn't dated much or been intimate with a lot of women. Enter Alice Baylor, who is one of the customers for a business that Samir drives for, and he becomes enchanted, enamored, and eventually you could argue obsessed with her, even to the point of taking money out of what's supposed to be for his college tuition in order to impress her. But the problem is, Alice has this on and off again thing for a man named Josh who's married, and when she finds out about this, that's when Samir gets his in. But Josh eventually finds a way to get back into Alice's heart, and maybe more than that. This leads to a lot of issues for Samir because Samir, when he was stalking Alice, confronted Josh when he found out about Josh having a family. And that was what originally gave Samir an opening, but now he's trying to reiterate what happened. And all that drama between Josh lying about his family and all that, especially him potentially leaving his family, Samir knowing and stalking her, it leads to her wanting out. And Josh, since he's pissed, he decides to confront Samir, who he's not trying to get into a fist fight. So when Samir gets into his car and tries to get away, and Josh decides to block his vehicle by putting his body in front of Samir's car, Samir kills him in a second-degree murder type of way, which is what the trial is about, whether or not Samir is guilty. And between Thomas, who drove with Samir, and of course Rita in her testimony, there's an attempt to bring some kind of sympathy, but at the end of the day, Samir is guilty and his behind goes to jail. So one of the reasons why we think this is one of the worst episodes of Accused is because it has a lot of what Accused presents in terms of giving us a type of story we may not see that often, in this case a Syrian refugee, yet then it just wastes all the potential that it has going for it. Instead of pursuing all the issues that Samir could have with being a first generation, not even a first generation because he was born in Syria, so with all the issues that Samir could have being an immigrant, trying to get acclimated to America, trying to live up to his mom's expectations and in his father's footsteps, and then maybe something happening in terms of him accidentally killing a patient or something like that, and that being the accused part. Instead, he's some guy who hasn't gotten laid in a while, who has terrible experience of trying to get in a relationship with women, can't pass his MCAT, so it's almost like they gave us an incel storyline instead of all the potential that Samir could have had. And it's frustrating because again and again, when it comes to Accused, you see so many good setups, but then things go awry and then we get lackluster episodes like this. And we have this, I don't even know how many episodes are left, because usually for mid-season shows it's like 13, but this is still ongoing, so I can only hope that it bounces back after hitting so low with this episode.